Okay, so let's switch over to the phone lines and speak to former coach of the Black Stars, James Kwesiapia. Coach, good evening. Thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah, good evening.
Coach, I trust you're well.
Yeah, by grace.
Okay, so Coach, I'm sure you may have followed proceedings with the World Cup draw.
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
Okay, so Ghana, we are housed in Group H alongside Portugal, South Korea, and Uruguay. Generally, what's your impression of this group?
First of all, I think once you qualify to the World Cup, the intention should be, it doesn't matter who I'm facing. You should cite yourself to a level where you should know you are going to compete with high-level players. And for that reason, for me, it's important we think of, okay, can we qualify from our group? And then what next? So if you look at what next, then it's going to be a bit harder than the group stages. And that's why it's important that you recite yourself to the level where you think it doesn't matter who you're playing. And for me, I think it's possible to qualify from our group, but the stages that are left is what we should be thinking about.
Okay, so Coach, you played Portugal back in 2014 where your team had to lose by 2-1. But even before that game, you had played South Korea in the pre-tournament friendly. You beat them by 4-0 in the USA. So you have a fair idea how those teams play. And so if you are to speak to Otoado, any of the technical, guys, what would you be telling them, what would you be telling them ahead of our encounters with those teams?
Okay, one thing we should know is those players who played in 2014 are not the same. The team have got different players as of now. So you don't rate those days today. The most important thing is to make sure we have a lot of tapes on their matches, their qualifying matches, so at least you can identify each player's performance and then the group as a whole. Because upon that, that is how you can try and design your tactical play. So the current players that they have and the tactical play that they have as of now is what is important that Otto focuses on.
Okay, but Coach, I think AFCON rarely comes to mind when we're pitted against the likes of Comoros, Gabon, and Morocco in a group that many thought was relatively kinder. Many expected Ghana to sail out from that group, but unfortunately, we couldn't even record a win. And so, in a group that contains South Korea, Uruguay, and Portugal, you think it is negotiable and that Ghana would be able to navigate around this group and then get to the next phase of the competition?
Ghana has a whole of very good players. So the important thing is we should be doing now is making sure you call the right players who can go out there and perform. I know there's been some players, we tried calling them, they were not coming, but we should ask ourselves, is it possible to convince them again? So those that we can get them on board, I think we should try and get them on board. At the end of the day, we got some African Cup qualifier matches, about 2 or 3 before the World Cup. So we can use that to test the players that we can get on board. So for me, I think we can still qualify in this group. I don't see anything difficult in this group. The AFCON, it's unfortunate that AFCON didn't go well. But you see, you don't judge a team based on 1 or 2 matches. Always make sure you look at more games. And upon that you can try and design a tactical play against the opposition.
Okay, Coach. So, again, let me take you back to the game against Portugal back in 2014. If you were to be in charge of this team, what would you have corrected just so to get a needed results against the Portuguese? What worked against you when you played them and then lost to them by 2-1?
No, I mean, 2014, everyone knew the problems that happened. You know, even I quite remember before our game with Portugal, you know, some of the players, senior players, came to me and said, "Oh, coach, can't we stop this game?" I said, "Oh, no, where we are now, we can't stop the game." You see, the reason being that when players were going to the pitch, they had their money that is paid them in their site, you know, to the field. And they had to leave the money in the dressing room and go and play this game. And you see, how can you be playing with your mindset on the money that you have at the dressing room? So there were so many factors that affected us. You know, so, and secondly, I think even going forward, I think Ghana, Portugal is not a team that is so different. And I think Ghana, once we prepare well, we sight ourselves very well, you know, we can go out there and show them our class.
Okay. Teams that Ghanaians find difficult to beat has to be teams from South America. We've got Uruguay in our group. Uruguay, as in the Uruguay that prevented or barred us from getting into the last four of the World Cup in 2010. And so from the coaching perspective, from the tactical perspective, how would you expect, you know, the technical brains behind this very team to prepare against a South American opposition?
Against Uruguay in 2010, we were just unfortunate. You know, that goal, I think the referee should have taken a goal instead of a penalty. And you see, for me, when it gets to penalties, it doesn't matter whether you've got all the best players in the world. You know, you can lose when it comes to penalties. But as the performance that day, I think we performed well. And if the referee had taken a goal, we would have won anyway. And Germany won the competition. But if you look at the game that we played, you know, it showed that if we matched Germany, then we could have as well gone further than where we went. It's sometimes it's unfortunate when things happen, but you know, as I said, when it comes to penalties, you can't put a whole lot of blames on the player.
Okay. So, Coach, why would anybody think that South Korea would be the weapon boys, would be the, you know, weaker opposition? You've played them before. You beat them by 4-0. It was, you made light work of them. And so, is it going to be that easy against them this time around?
You see, that's why I said that you should never underrate any team. And you should never think that any team is bigger than Ghana. No, always you need to cite your players, let them feel that they are the best in the whole world. So once they get to that thinking, automatically it will help us to go further. Because I don't think we can just say South Korea is that low to the extent that we can just walk over them. No, most of the time, such teams, if you underrate them, they can surprise you. So it's better we go with positive mind, you know, in all our games.
Okay. Coach, could this be the World Cup that can have an African nation get into the last four? Africa's representation has to be Ghana, Morocco, Tunisia, Cameroon, and Senegal. Could this be the moment?
I think we should all change our mindset that it's going to be Brazil, Germany, and France. No, we should change our mindset that we can do it. No, once you change your mindset, we the supporters and everybody, then the mindset of the players will also be changed. So they go on the pitch thinking that they can win or they can match whichever team comes along. No, and I think that's what we should start preparing our players' mind.
Okay. Coach, finally, before I let you go, you think Ghana can be able to get out of this group and get to the next phase of the competition. Of course, I appreciate the fact that we do not need to underestimate any of the teams. It's an evenly playing field and all of that. But take away your Ghanaian sentiments. Speak to me purely from the tactical perspective. You think Ghana have got what it takes to move out of this group and get to the next round?
Yeah, I think, you see, as I said, we got some time before the World Cup. And Otoado had some few weeks before the Nigerian game. And this is the time to test the team, very well. And for me, I think all the teams are beatable. We can go through easily. But the most important thing is how we prepare our mindset towards all the games.
Okay. Coach, I'm grateful for your time.
Thank you.